Did you know that I can see you?
We're back, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to talk about this topic, post-election. And this is for everybody. If you're somebody who maybe your person did not win, okay? Or maybe your person did win. Maybe a person did win. And you feel inclined to shun family members, shun friends, shun coworkers or neighbors or church members because they voted a different way. I really want you to just take some time, just take the time and think about, is that the way you want this to go? I really want you to think, is that the way you want this to go? I'm not saying that politics is not important. I'm not saying that it's not a part of the fabric of society. So I'm not saying you just ignore it. But do you really want to disown a relative, disown and disfellowship from a friend that goes to church with you, or a neighbor or coworker, because he or she voted a way that you don't think they should have voted? I really want you to consider and unpack that and think about that, especially as we're getting ready to go into holiday season. Now, I say this because
we interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
I'm going to speak to the white woman phenomenon of MAGA women being upset that people are setting boundaries with them around not wanting to be in relationship after the election. I'm going to make it make sense, okay? This is about requirements. If a woman doesn't learn to have requirements in her relationships, which most of us don't, okay? Most of us learn to accept mediocrity or even worse from men. So when they are faced with who should be president, they do not have the requirements in place to go, well, what is the filter system? Okay, rapist? Well, that's not really a requirement. Sexual assault, bullying, racism, xenophobia, none of it is a requirement because they do not know how to create requirements with men. So they go ahead and they make excuses. They gaslight themselves and they gaslight everyone around them in order to maintain the belief that they can have whatever it is they're wanting to get from it, right? Because the question is always, what are you getting from it? How does it benefit you? So there's something that benefits them. We can go into that. That's a whole nother conversation. And that is worth sacrificing what we see as values and all these things, but it's requirements. And they just simply don't know how to create requirements or know that they're worthy of having them. And so on the flip side of that, on the other side of the election, then people are actually telling them, well, I have requirements, okay? So I have a requirement that people care about my human rights. And if you don't care, then I don't choose to be in relationship with you. And this is mind-blowing, and this feels like another layer of victimhood for people who have not yet become empowered enough to create their own requirements for relationships in their life.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
I come from a pretty dysfunctional family. Dear Woke Christians family is not the big celebratory family, not the big, we got to get together. We're not. I'll just be honest with you. We're not very close-knit. However, Lady Dear Woke Christians family is extremely close-knit. And I look at them with a little bit of envy, like, wow, man, they really, they do all these events together. When Lady Dear Woke Christian and I first got married, they would do this Christmases and these Thanksgivings and all of these things together. Like, man, wow, my family never did that. We never really did. My mom and my dad and my siblings and I did, but nothing with extended family. I mean, this was everybody's extended family. They brought them all together in my wife's family. And it was super, super cool. Now,
we interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Political secrets might sound harmless, but they're causing real breakups. A 2023 survey by the APA revealed that about 1 in 5 adults have become estranged from a family member due to a political disagreement. I spoke to a woman yesterday who found out her husband secretly voted against her candidate, and it didn't just hurt her, it shattered her whole sense of who he was. Voting has become so much more than politics. For many, it's a test of values and sometimes even a deal breaker. Politics today, they're so personal. It's about identity. And when someone hides their beliefs, it feels like they're hiding a part of themselves. A 2024 report highlighted that politically mixed marriages have declined from 30% in 2016 to 21%, reflecting growing political polarization within households. Maybe it's time for an honest conversation. Would a secret vote, or maybe not even voting at all, cause tension in your...
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
I was one of the few people in my wife's family, and I was the few people in the family that had the political leanings that I did. So there were some interesting conversations around Thanksgiving dinner sometimes, or around the Christmas tree, right? In the back of my mind, I was always respectful to the fact that this is my wife's family member. And when the smoke clears, when it's all said and done, I want to have a good relationship with this person. So we don't need to disfellowship. So there are people in my family in my family being my wife's family, know where I vote, where I land politically, and I refuse to disfellowship with them. I'm not gonna, that's fine. When I see you, I'm still gonna respect you. I still honor you and such like that. I'm not gonna do that. That's not, politics doesn't mean that much to me, because at the end of the day, politics is still subpar to Christ. So as long as I know that I'm representing Christ properly, and I know I'm representing Christ to the best of my ability, I will stand before him and say, this is the best I could have done in representing Christ. I don't care what you voted. My voting is not going to be part of my resume before God. So there being the case, I'm not going to disfellowship with somebody because of that. Now, again, does there need to be some teaching? There need to be some duking it out, so to speak. Absolutely, there needs to be some of that. But breaking fellowship with a family member, I think, is a lap too far. And I think it only goes to show the wickedness and the evilness of this society, where God in his sovereignty gave you your mother and father, your siblings, your aunts and uncles, your grandparents, and extended family. That's the people that he gave you to sanctify you and to craft you and mold you into the image of Christ. Why would I break fellowship with them over somebody that lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Why would I do that? That's evil. No, okay, now you're like, well, Jason, where are you going with this? And I'm glad you asked. We're going to listen to this wicked, evil woman, Joy Reid, talk about some unadulterated, stir-fried, flambéed foolishness, deep-fried country state style foolishness about breaking fellowship with family members over who they voted for in an election.
Challenge with the idea of how do you interact with people who you know voted for this, right? If you are an LGBTQ person and you know someone in your family voted essentially against your rights, or you're a woman knowing that, this man was calling people the B word, J.D. Vance was literally calling Kamala Harris the trash and said, we're going to take out the trash. I know a lot of Black women were incredibly triggered by that. And if you then meet somebody and you know they voted for the people who called you trash, or if you're Puerto Rican, and you know someone voted that way, do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up.
So I love that you asked this question, because, there is a push, I think just a societal norm, that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going to a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood, and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. And I actually
All right. So I just wanted y'all to hear that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I disagree wholeheartedly because there's a couple of reasons why. And I want to hear what you think down in the comments below. Let me know if you think I'm crazy, if you disagree. But let me tell you why. When the smoke clears, when you, by God's grace, slowly transition from this life into the next, who do you want to be around you? Who do you want to be there to see you close your eyes? Do you want your loved ones who've been with you since a childhood, maybe some friends, maybe some relatives that you've known and know you? Do you want them to be around you to hold your hand as you get ready to close your eyes for the last time? Or do you want some bona fide people that you don't even know? And even worse than that, all because of somebody you don't know. I'm sorry, Trump and JD Vance are not going to change your life like that. You know what's going to change your life? Those people that you call your family. You know what's going to change your life? Interacting with the people that you have to have tough conversations with and have spirited conversations and flesh out some things. That's where you grow. That's where you become better. If you go into an echo chamber in a silent box where you can only hear your own voice, I'm sorry, you're not going to be made better. You're not going to be challenged to grow. You're not going to be challenged to look at the situation from a different angle, different viewpoint. You're only going to look at it from your own. And that's problematic. That woman is wrong. Was her name Amanda Calhoun? She's wrong. Joy Reid is all the way wrong. She's wrong. She's not joyful and she probably don't read. So she's wrong for telling people to break fellowship with family members over the holidays. Maybe you don't want to go to family dinner with them. Okay. Then you do what you do, but be mindful. This might be the last time you see grandma. This might be the last time you see uncle, whatever his name is. This might be the last time you see your siblings. And you're going to break fellowship with them because of this? And so you will, God forbid, this person passes away and you didn't go to dinner with them. You didn't go to family gathering with them. You didn't go on the family vacation with them. And this person passed away and you've never reconciled with them. Why? Why do that to yourself? Never. I mean, Joy Reid ain't going to be there with you. Amanda Calhoun is not going to sit and hold your hand. No. But your family, this is your family. Make amends with your family. You can get along with your family members and they voted a different way. I've done it for better than 23 years being married to my wife. And I know good and well my in-laws vote differently than me. I know that. They know that too. But I'm not going to break fellowship with them. Those are my wife. That's who made my wife. That's who my kids call grandparents and great aunts and great uncles and aunts and uncles. That's all. No, I can't. No, because then I'm tacitly throwing away part of my family here in my own house. Not going to do it. And you shouldn't either. If you've bought into this idea, this notion that you should disfellowship family because of who they voted for, I'm telling you right now, stop it. Run from that kind of craziness, because God gave you this family for a reason, and you are shunning the opportunity to grow and to become whom God wanted you to become through your family. Now, again, if they're toxic and they're really bad and they're doing drugs and they're criminals, maybe we need to have a conversation about that, because that's not a safety issue now. But if you're just saying because ideologically I disagree with them, no, sir, no, ma'am. You've put your ideology is now your idol. And that needs to be brought down. This is Dear Woke Christian. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is a one and done. Down in the comments below, let me know what you think. I really do appreciate it. Y'all know I like to tap in and jump into those comment section. So I'm going to be doing that real soon. Grace and peace. Take care.
Yo, hit that like for Dear Woke Christian. Yo, for Dear Woke Christian, smash that bell for DLC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for Dear Woke Christian. For Dear Woke Christian, smash that bell for DLC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for Dear Woke Christian.